Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Quick Tips with Sean. Today I want to be talking about saturation, specifically Ableton Saturator, but all saturators apply to this video. They're basically doing the same thing. So yeah, let's dive right in. The first thing I want to do is kind of briefly go over what I believe saturation is doing, like on a basic level. So let me just bring up a saturator. I already have one right here. So cool. So basically what's going on is that the saturation is going to boost harmonic content in the mid-range area. Okay. Let me grab my headphones real quick. And it's going to give it some color. It's going to give it some like definition in that area. And then specifically, yeah, I mean, if we want to go over some of the parameters here, we have drive, which is the main parameter in this saturation plugin, because it's going to be driving the sound into this curve. Now, the more aggressive this curve, the more like clipping that's going to happen. It's basically just going to be getting shoved into a wall, and that's going to be creating the saturation. Now, we have different levels of curve. So sine wave gets a little more aggressive, you can obviously tell. In the medium curve, more aggressive. There's less curve actually, it's just more straightforward into it. And then you have the hard curve, which is just real tough stuff there. And then you get into more of like a sine wave looking type thing. And then the digital clip, which no one really likes, but you got it if you want it. And then the wave shaper, which is very interesting because you have this extra window of shaping the curve, so you can do some real interesting custom curves if you want. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to analog clip, and then you have this lower section. So this is a DC offset button. If you have any type of DC offset in your sound, this is going to fix that for you guys. Color. So basically in Ableton Saturator, you have two filters. You have one in the low end and then one in the mid-range section. And so this bass knob is going to be the one that's going to be kind of amplifying or attenuating the effect or the sound that Saturator is giving that low end stuff. Okay, and then you have frequency, which is going to be the crossover between the low filter and the top filter. So this is going to be where that crossover is at. And then width and depth are both going to kind of mess around with the sounds, like the frequency ranges and the width and depth of the saturating effect that it's going to give on that second filter. Definitely just mess around with it. It's extra customization if you guys really want to get down to it, but you don't really need to do any of this stuff. The saturator, the drive parameter is just going to really push it and give you that mid-range boost and that harmonic content. And then you have this or the soft clip button. So basically, if you're noticing a lot of clipping, it's just going to introduce that clip into another, how can I say it? It's going to reduce the clipping, basically. Output and dry and wet. So cool. That's basically the saturator, specifically Ableton's. Again, a lot of people or a lot of plugins that do saturating effects, they're basically all the same. They're going to be doing the same thing. So cool. I got a little song that I whipped up for you guys. Very interesting little song that I made. It's not even a song. It just has like a little progression that I'm going to mess with, and then some drums, and then a sub. So the first thing that I want to do is give you guys the example with a sub. Let me put my headphones on real quick. So this is my sub just by itself. Now I really recommend you guys using headphones or like some type of low-end speakers to really hear what's going on. So this is a good effect for like giving your subs a little bit more clarity in the mid-range section, so that like they're audible when it comes to like your phone speakers or your laptop speakers. Anything that doesn't really reach those low sub frequencies, you can give it some saturation, so that, I mean, you're not going to really hear any more sub frequencies, but you're actually going to be able to hear some like mid-range harmonic content, and that's going to be the sub. So it's going to be like, oh, okay, that's supposed to be the sub. You know what I mean? So and if you guys look closely at this spectrum, it's analyzing the frequencies here. Let's hear my sub. And then if I give it some drive, we're going to see these mid-range frequencies get a boost. See that? And those are all harmonic content. So this is all harmonics. These are all like really, really good frequencies that you want. Now, obviously 8 dB is quite a bit, but again, I'm not here to tell you guys like how much you should do it or how less you should do it. I mean, I'm just trying to teach you guys how to do it. And you know, the end product is up to you guys, depending on how you like it. You know what I mean? So yes, sub frequencies, saturate them. It's going to make them fatter, bigger, better, and you're going to be able to hear them on devices where they don't put out low frequencies like that. So I'm going to go take this down a little bit, like around 3 or 4. And again, the values that you guys choose are completely up to you guys, whatever sounds good. But yeah, I mean, mess around with the saturator on anything. Like I have this all drums group because I like to separate my kick from the main group of my my drums, just because the kick is a lot more punchy and I don't want the compressor to do. That's another video. Anyway, I could go ahead and throw the saturator on there. I mean, let's see. And the drums sound a little crappy. I just threw this together. But if I wanted to give it some saturation, it's going to boost some mid-range harmonics. Now again, I really stress this idea about tuning, especially samples, because a lot of people just throw samples in their songs and they don't really tune them to the key of their song. You know, snares, kicks, hi-hats, all these things are hitting certain frequencies that correlate with certain, you know, notes. So if you really tune these drums and then put saturator on it, saturator is going to boost harmonic content, and now you have all your drums and your samples all like meshed together musically, which is, it's just going to make it sound so much better, and it actually gives more clarity to the instruments because you don't have any phase issues or any type of weird like off tonally things, you know what I mean? So again, like it's really going to give it some color. It's really going to give it some analog feel. It's really going to make it stand out more. And it's going to glue them together musically with those harmonics. And then I want to put it on a mids group. So I have this going. It's just like some weird, you know, I started with like a chord progression. But I want to put saturator right here. Give it a little drive. So it really just brought them out all together, and this is the best example right here because they're all playing rather like the same chord progression. So it's gonna really glue them together in that mid-range area. If you did notice, now it is making it louder, but it's also just bringing up those mid-range frequencies. So you can give it just a cool feel, man. It's really, really awesome, and I really want you guys to start using this stuff on everything. I mean, I've heard interviews with certain producers who they're like, yeah, I put the saturator on everything. Like, you can put it on your master track and just give it like, you know, a dB of something, and it's really going to change the game, and it's really going to color everything and make it a little less digital. I think that's the objective. You know, everything just is so digital nowadays. You want to figure out ways of kind of making it a little more dirty and give it some extra little flair and some more character. And the saturator plugin is very, very useful for that stuff. So yeah, guys, I really hope you found this video useful, and I hope you guys apply this in your future productions if you're not already doing so. And I think that's it. That's all I got for you guys. So yeah, have a good day. Like and subscribe, and drop a comment below if you want any future videos covered. All right, guys, have a good day.